Hey everybody, it's November and that can only mean one thing. Thanksgiving time is here.
Yay! Or boo, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. Welcome to the OA podcast where we have a lot of opinions, but most of them, they're pretty average. I'm Monica.
And I'm Anna. Hi, everybody. As Mon mentioned, it's that time of year again. Whether you love it or hate it, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Last year, we did a super fun but somewhat controversial Am I the Asshole? We did episodes regarding the two F's of the month, which is food and family.
Oh, those F's.
Those F's. I don't know, man. You could literally.
You could probably have another F in there somewhere.
So we're back at it, but this time instead of just Am I the Asshole, we're going to mix in a couple of Dear Abby's along with those articles.
Yay, I love doing those. Do some OA shoutouts.
Okay.
At the time of this recording, we're referring to the episodes of when Jay and Av were on our podcast, and if you haven't checked that out, you should definitely check out that chaos.
Yes.
But we have one a text message from our good old friend JJ. Hi JJ.
Hi JJ, our favorite texter.
He says, "Yay for Jay and Av." Hi guys. And I'm sure they say hi too. He says, "Thanks for the shout out." He has a follow-up question for us. If you don't poop, what happens with all the food that you ate? Or would you not need to eat either? As far as cutting off fingers or toes, I'd go for both pinky toes also. I keep stubbing them anyway. He'd rather have $2 million instead. And then he says, "Whoa, Monica or Mon losing a foot of her height. She'll have gorilla arms if they didn't shrink neither." You know, that was something that we overlooked.
We didn't because about the proportions.
We didn't know. Well, I didn't know if like proportionally, do you just lose your neck? Just the size of your head? Do you lose height in your legs? I don't know. But I definitely don't want to be walking around like a gorilla.
Yes. But I actually thought that it was going to be just like proportionally shrinking, except Jay said your weight doesn't redistribute. So you would just be a little bit chunkier, but like in terms of everything else, everything would be kind of the same, I guess. So that's what I thought.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. Well, but sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, he just ends his text message with, "As far as having the guys back on, heck yes." So I'll be sure to pass on the message to Jay. Anna will pass on the message to Av. They will be voluntold to join us back on this podcast sometime soon.
Yes.
But thanks again, JJ, for listening.
Super fun. Definitely super fun having them on. But what I wanted to share is we have one more comment on this on our YouTube. But it's kind of funny because it asks the same question as JJ. So it basically says, I think Jay is onto something with his no poop rationale. Does the no stomach issues then mean that I can eat all this spicy foods and trashy fast food that I want to without worrying about the consequences? So I responded by saying, yes, no stomach issues. It's pure magic. So
I don't know. I mean, I guess you won't get sick, right? Like, you know, usually if people are constipated or whatever, they get like really sick because they're literally not expelling stuff.
Yes.
But if we're talking about what's sitting in the stomach versus what's in your intestines. Science nerd here, sorry.
Go on.
I don't know. I think your stomach would still hurt.
And let's all remember that this Mon chose the no shower team.
I'm still trying to debate the whole thing. Team no
Team no shower.
Anyway. Oh wait, who was that?
Tim Manuel Miranda. Sorry, forgot to mention. Yeah.
Aw, thanks, Tim. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the comment.
Yeah, but in a perfect world, we can just go ahead and say pretend that this hypothetical gives you the power to eat anything you want
Oh,
with
okay. Then
no
we're
stomach
extending
ache.
this superpower. Okay.
It's a controversial topic, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thanks everyone for
Thank
the
you.
text. Super fun. We love those. So yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Let's start off with one of your articles, Anna.
Ooh, okay. Okay. You're gonna put me
Yeah.
on the spot.
Yeah, let's
Hold
go
on,
for
hold
it.
on. Okay. A lot of these articles are like pretty similar, I guess, but with a twist type thing, but they're
I
all
think
still
most
fun.
people experience very similar issues,
Yes, yes, for
drama,
sure.
events during
Yes.
Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
So, what is your article about?
Okay. It's just like the same stories with a twist, right? Everyone's got their own little twist on it. Okay.
Yeah.
It says, Dear Abby, when a friend of mine makes dinner for invited guests, it's either takeout Chinese food or delivered pizza. Frankly, I'm sick of it. Last Thanksgiving, they invited me and several others over for dinner. You guessed it, Chinese food. I told my friend I was surprised and not in the mood for Chinese food, offered my apologies, and left. We didn't talk for 4 months. This past year, I was invited again to Thanksgiving dinner, right? I declined. And when I was asked why, I said, I'm sick and tired of what's being offered. Their response was, then I guess I'll stop inviting you. And I don't need your friendship. I replied, glad we're on the same page. Okay. Abby, this
Oh.
friend knows how to cook and could certainly order something different. Was I out of line? I have no regrets that the friendship has ended. Signed, Fed Up in the West. Remember, guys, Dear Abby has those cool, like, sign offs or whatever. But okay, come
What's his
on.
signature again? Or her?
Fed Up,
His, her.
Fed Up in the West. I don't know.
Oh my God, fed up in the West. I hope you're not talking about like West, like from the Bay Area or whatever.
I do
Oh,
think people in the Bay Area would not mind like Asian
no.
food for Thanksgiving. But Mon, tell us what your thoughts are on this.
Do I respond to food? I mean, fed in the West?
Yeah, as if you're Abby, as if you're
Oh,
Abby
okay.
giving advice, and then Will, because it's Dear Abby, will read what Abby says afterwards. So we'll
Okay,
see,
okay.
like, mhm.
Well, dear fed in the West. I don't know. I kind of feel like you're the asshole.
Twist. Am I
I
the
said,
asshole?
sorry.
No,
The combo, the
no.
hybrid.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, for sure.
I feel like that could have been better handled. I feel like there's probably something a little deeper rooted there to end a friendship over an annual dinner that happens
Mhm.
just literally once a year. And I mean, I know one time you didn't want to go. Or no, well the first one was he's been going to these dinners, he hated it. So the next one, he found out he was invited, went, saw it was Chinese food,
Yes, and it
and
was
dipped.
Thanksgiving. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was already kind of like really rude because someone's inviting you into their home as a guest. And maybe, yeah, you're not into like having Chinese food for Thanksgiving dinner. Why don't you bring something to contribute? Like, I don't know why you have to like leave it up to the one person, your so called friend,
Right.
and just be like complaining that it's always Chinese food. Well, why don't you host it yourself? How about you offer something else and then maybe don't have Chinese food at your place? Will you also kick out your friend if like they bring Chinese food to their for your
They
party?
bring the Chinese food to you.
And then after that, he was invited again, but he just like flat out said no. He didn't even
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't even make it to the party, and he
Right.
was just like,
And
"I'm
I'm
sick of your
honest
food."
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that Fed Up in the West got invited again.
I
That's like a
know.
big thing. Like, why? Right? But
Yeah, I don't. He just seems very ungrateful. I mean, maybe the person who's hosting the thing, like maybe he thought of Chinese food being the tradition. It's a weird tradition, but maybe it was like a tradition among friends and family,
yeah.
and maybe he didn't know. he or she didn't know that like people didn't actually like it. Did you tell him?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like one of
But
those things where they say, like, you complain or you, like, don't like something, but you don't say anything, so how is the person supposed to know type thing, right?
yeah, but
Mhm.
I know Chinese food at Thanksgiving can be a little bit of a conversation starter.
Yes, we had this
So
conversation last year.
I'm very interested to know
Mhm.
what you would think about Fed in the West.
Okay. So I actually 100% agree with you.
Okay.
I regardless of the type of food that
Mm-hmm.
is being served, someone is inviting you and making the effort to, I mean, like, I'm getting the impression that they're not making this Chinese food. They did say, like, they always get takeout, right? Takeout
Right.
Chinese food or
Yeah.
pizza. So they're paying for this food, and we
Right.
all know food is not cheap at this point. Food is really
No.
expensive, especially when you're hosting a gathering. So that's super gracious of them to invite you over and over and all that kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree that, like, if you don't like the food, then offer to host or offer to bring something. And super rude to, like, show up and then leave because you
Yeah.
don't like the food. I think that, I 100% agree with you. I think that I know I said, and I don't disagree with what I said last year. Like, I like a traditional Thanksgiving, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when, like, there's chow mein specifically
Sure.
brought to
Because
that.
you're hosting.
Yeah, I'm
It's a completely
hosting.
different situation.
Yes, yes. So, but I mean, like, regardless of that, it's like I do respect that everyone has, like, different traditions, and
Sure.
everyone has different things. Like, we have families, like other families that don't have a traditional Thanksgiving and have all Filipino food and have a lechon,
Mm-hmm.
and a roasted pig instead of turkey, which is delicious and great. And everyone just does their own thing. And I'm very respectful of that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that fed up in the West is rude as hell. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
be your friend. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that, like I said, there was probably something deeper than
Deeper.
just a Thanksgiving thing
Mhm.
that you guys never hashed out, and you were just using this
As an
Thanksgiving thing
excuse.
as like
Yeah,
a little
totally.
vessel to just cut the ties.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Fed in the West, probably need to reflect a little.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys don't want to be friends, that's totally fine. That's on you guys. But um, I probably would not use that type of mentality in other aspects of your life.
Yes. Okay. So let's read what Abby says.
Yes.
Okay. So, dear Fed Up, when someone accepts an invitation to someone's home, rather than criticize the menu, they should be grateful for the hospitality being extended. Were you out of line? The way you phrased your reason for declining was rude. You could have inquired about the menu and asked if you could bring something more traditional. It's fortunate you have no regrets that your relationship with your former host has ended. I'm pretty sure the feelings are mutual. And on top of that, I'd like to add, you are the asshole. If this was an Am I the Asshole, we'll say that Fed Up in the West is an asshole as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me and Miss Abby,
Yeah.
or us and Miss Abby. That's
Yes,
what we're talking
yes.
about.
On the same wavelength. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All
Wow.
right.
Oh my
Yes, that was
gosh.
okay. A banger to start. What do
But
you
we,
guys think? Do you guys feel
yeah.
the same as we do? Do you feel like it's warranted because, like, you're so adverse to the food? Please comment and let us know.
hmm Is there any food that would make you turn around and leave that party? I don't know what kind of food
Uh,
there'd be to have that happen, but
I don't think for me personally, no. I don't know. I feel like I could definitely have feelings about what's being served, but I
mhm.
don't think I would, like, shun the party or whatever.
Yeah.
That it's just, like, rude. Mon, is there anything you would be like about?
I mean, if I was like allergic to something
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
that's
like the
valid.
only food there, or I'm like
Mhm.
highly allergic to something, and my so-called friend still had it there anyway,
Yeah,
oh
it
yeah,
was
then I
not
would turn
considerate.
around. But that's just because, like, literally life or death, you know?
Yeah.
My friend is basically trying to kill me at that point. So yeah, I would end my friendship there too. But okay, let's
Okay.
see. Shall we try an actual "Am I the Asshole?" Because that
Yes,
seemed kind
yes,
of
let's.
asshole-ish article. Anyway.
Yes. Mhm. Let's go for it.
Okay, this article is titled, Am I the asshole for telling my son he will pay me? Oh, he will pay back for the cheese or meat, or he won't be eating Thanksgiving tomorrow.
What?
I don't know.
Please explain.
Expanding. um, the original poster, or the OP, they write, I'll keep this one short. Every year we have a charcuterie board before a Thanksgiving meal at 6. Just about just something anyone can really like pick at so they're not dying of hunger by the time dinner comes around. My
Yum.
son, I know that's like Anna's fave. She's really good at putting together those boards.
Thank you. Thank you very
Um,
much.
the OP says, My son, who's 16, loves cheese. And due to this, I make sure to label when he can't eat something. I labeled all the stuff for Thanksgiving, don't eat. Well, yesterday he went and ate all of the
Oh.
fancy meats and basically ate from each block that I had bought. I
Oh, I get it. I get it. Okay.
I truly was pissed since I worked extra hours to pay for it, since the prices are awful now for a nice cheese. I told him he needs to go to the store to replace all of it, which would cost him around $70.
Holy shit, where are you buying your cheese, lady? Not at Trader Joe's.
No,
Sorry.
you should have gone to Costco or
I know.
something. One of the cheeses he ate was $18. So maybe she had like 5, 6 different cheeses. I don't know. Um, she basically, or he or she basically said, yeah, if he doesn't buy the $70 worth of cheese to replace it, he doesn't get to eat Thanksgiving food or have a Thanksgiving meal. He is refusing to pay for it back, so no Thanksgiving meal. He will, there's like
Wow.
parentheses, he will have a sandwich.
Wow.
And he thinks that I'm being a horrible jerk. My husband is on his side and doesn't understand why I'm so pissed about it. That's pretty much the end of it.
That's
Is
a
this
good
person
one.
is this person an asshole?
Okay. Shall I give my opinion first?
Yes, give it to me because
Um,
you make charcuterie boards. You
yes,
know,
I
like the
do.
time and effort and
Yes,
the
and
money
it's
that
it
goes into it.
yeah, so I agree with her. I don't think I spend $70 just on cheese, so this leads me to I don't know where they're from. Maybe she went to Erewhon or something to buy
Yeah,
no, that would be one block of cheese
I
if
was gonna
she
say
was
one
going
slice of cheese.
yeah, I feel like, to be honest with you, the first thing that came to mind when you told me how much this cost, I feel like this is Whole Foods. I feel like she probably got
Oh,
her cheese at Whole Foods, which is, in my opinion, really expensive. I'm a Trader Joe's girl, Trader Joe's and Costco. Yay,
mm-hmm,
cooler
mm-hmm.
bag, canvas bag.
Yeah.
Um, I have them right here, right here. But
Whoa, what a flex.
like they're expensive. So in a sense, so I have like two opinions on this. Like, no,
Mm-hmm,
I don't think she's the asshole. I think she has every right to be pissed. Like if you have the kid at 16 years old, they should know the difference between right or wrong. You're labeling them. So it's like, regardless of the cost, that is very disrespectful to, like, go against like your mom's wishes when it's like very clearly labeled. And also, on yeah, it's really, really expensive. But oh my God, have you ever shopped around Thanksgiving?
uh,
Like, who wants to run out for to the grocery store unnecessarily because
mm-hmm.
someone messed up your, whatever. Someone
Yeah,
messed up like your menu or whatever. So I don't think she's the asshole, but I don't think I could withhold Thanksgiving dinner from my child.
yeah, that's pretty
So
extreme.
I think that's pretty extreme. I think that, like, I think he should pay her back. I think he should go get the cheese himself and, have the dad drive you since he's on his side and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. But I think that's pretty messed up. Like, yeah, that's I would be pissed because it's such a thing to grocery shop for Thanksgiving, and no one wants to go out there again like the day
yeah.
before and, battle all the traffic and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one.
Yeah, when I found this one, I was like, what do you mean you were not gonna let them eat Thanksgiving food? But, I can understand why. Maybe, I mean, obviously, she's still feeding him a sandwich, so he's not gonna go starving or whatever, but he
Right.
doesn't get the special plate. But I'm also thinking, like, okay, we're talking about cheese that's $70 worth, and I mean whatever else he eats. How much did you eat, and how did you eat it in a short time? Like, I don't understand.
I
um,
actually thought of something real quick. Like,
mm-hmm.
she said that he like took pieces out of the block, like a block of cheese, right? Like he like took
He
a little
basically
bit.
ate from each block.
So what I was thinking was that like, I mean, this is like, I'm not trying to say he's off the hook. Like for sure, like he messed up, but like you can arrange it in a way where you can cut it, or like if it's a hard cheese, you could like scrape it down so that it does, you can't tell. You basically can work this out so that you can't tell. I think
Right.
the issue is like if there's not enough now, that sucks. So yeah,
That, or just, yeah, the principle of the fact that,
mm,
like, I,
for
it
sure.
clearly says do not eat these things. You did it anyway. It was expensive. And I mean, I agree with you, Anna, that like there's one side of like Thanksgiving where you're hosting and it's stressful, and you put in so much time and effort, blood, sweat, tears to make sure the food is ready and good, tastes great and everything like that. And then there's people who attend such parties, and much like our last article, where like they are so ungrateful and they don't really realize like
Yeah,
the effort that you put into the party, that it's like, what's the big deal? It's just cheese. It's like, it's the fact that you completely disregarded uh my so-called labels, that you're not willing to like own up to like your mistake. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, you're 16, so you're not, you're young, but you're not like dumb and like,
Yeah,
well, you
you're not
shouldn't
a
be dumb.
toddler. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There should be repercussions for those type of behavior, because if, you know, if you don't do anything about that now, who knows, like down the line that could just be as far as like, who cares? They said that there's rules and I'm just going to break them cuz
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care.
This road
um
says 60 miles per hour, but I don't care. Like, you know?
there's going to be repercussions if you get a ticket. What are you
Yes.
going to say? Like, the sign changed? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, a lot of people are kind of saying the same thing that we are. Is like, you can tell which people responding in the comments do not cook big, stressful family dinners. It's not just about the money, it was the time planning, the drive, the shopping, the labeling, the mental calculation of how much extra time the poster would have to work and pay for the food.
Mhm.
It's just, yeah, it sounds like really intense to not feed them the special food, but they're still gonna eat. They just don't get to, and they don't get the privilege of enjoying
Yeah.
the good food that she made. So
Yeah.
I don't think they're the asshole. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. It's like consequences for your actions. Like it sucks, but you're completely right in saying like a lot of people, and my next article is similar to this. So it's
Mm-hmm.
good, it ties in, but it's like if you've never hosted Thanksgiving, you know, we both of us were Filipino, we have big families, right? Like
Oh yeah.
Thanksgiving is not what you see on TV where there's 8 people at a table sitting down. There's often like 20, 30 people like coming to your
Mm-hmm.
house, and it's a huge undertaking, like just financially it's super tiring. So you know,
Yeah.
it's like a culmination of all those things. So I don't think she's an asshole. If she wants to be that harsh, then I mean he did it, so you know she's the parent.
They said just in the last minute edit, they said, made up my mind. I already informed my mother-in-law of the situation. She offered to bring a nice cheese board if he still refused. I am giving him one last chance. He can buy it, not get Thanksgiving tomorrow, or work for, or it's like three different choices, or
Okay.
work 11 hours to make up for that money. I have a feeling he won't do either of the options given, so probably no
Wow.
Thanksgiving, and my relatives will understand.
I mean, I feel like this kid's probably a brat. Like this is probably like
Sounds like
not
you
the
got an entitled
yeah, yeah. This is probably
Gen
not
Alpha.
this is not like probably the first time that the kid is like the behavior is probably like built up. So, you know, maybe a
Yeah.
kid that's used to getting away with, you know, this kind of behavior. And if it's kind of sad that like the dad's backing him up. So
Mm.
that's kind of telling right there too. But Yeah, that's crazy.
That
That's really,
sucks.
really sad. That's a really good article. That's definitely not anything I expected. I was like, cheese? Like, what are
What
we
do you
doing?
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, Whole Foods cheese,
yeah.
expensive.
Yes. And I do a charcuterie board every Thanksgiving, and I like doing it, as Mon said. Like, it's one of those
Mhm.
things that I like doing it. I'm good at it. It's super yummy. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I know
Mhm.
it's a lot of work, and it's not cheap. So
Right. So you said you had like another Dear
yeah.
Abby
So I
article that
have
ties into
one.
it?
Yeah, yeah. That's like, okay, hold on. It's like it's a good flow. It's a good flow we have.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Dear Abby, for the last 6 years, my partner and I have hosted family Thanksgiving dinner. I always spend more time and energy than I have to make it beautiful and successful.
Mhm.
This year, I have neither the budget nor the desire for the
Mm.
stress. I made it known early that we wouldn't be hosting this year. Good for you, girl.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Surprisingly, my little sister volunteered to host and she sent an invitation to the usual crowd. The next day, she called me to tell me that although she would host, she couldn't possibly be expected to do all the work, and she told me to bring the turkey. She said I was free to cook it at my place or come a bit early to cook it there. Shocked, I told her absolutely not because avoiding this responsibility was the reason I'm not hosting. I was planning on bringing a side or dessert as it's usual for guests to do so, but not the
Mhm.
main dish. She got mad and said I was ruining Thanksgiving. I feel a growing responsibility to help her out, even though I don't need the stress in my life right now. And I know once I start, I'll take control with her encouragement. She has no idea the amount of work that goes into this meal every year. And I think it will be a mess if I don't help her cook and prepare. Am I being selfish? Should I go there early to teach her how to cook the turkey and do everything else for the sake of resuscitating this dinner, which everyone has come to expect meets a certain standard? Though this is making me miserable, but I feel myself caving into my sister's tantrum. And she signs off. Her pen name is Not Feeling Thankful. I love it.
Oh.
So yeah, it like kind of ties in a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. I feel bad for that poster. Like, I mean, especially because they're saying not feeling thankful. It's like, are you not feeling thankful of the situation? Are you saying that someone else is not being thankful? Or are you saying you're not thankful for your
There's no
sister?
thanks all around.
There's no thanks for this Thanksgiving. Well, my 2 cents. Not feeling thankful.
Mhm.
I think you should stick to your guns, keep to your boundaries. I know you want to help your sister, but it's she volunteered for this responsibility and to kind of like gaslight you and saying like you're the one ruining Thanksgiving by not preparing the main dish, the freaking
Mhm.
turkey. Um, that's kind of messed up for your sister. Your sister sounds kind of like entitled, like the kid from before. um,
Kids.
I mean, the current theme is that like having hosting a Thanksgiving party is a big deal. It's a big responsibility, and
Absolutely.
you can't just say, "I'll provide the location, everyone else do the work." You know, and I mean, unless that's like completely communicated and everyone's on the same
Yes.
page for that
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
that's
Not the night
fine.
before.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, especially the turkey. I mean, I've never cooked a turkey. Our good friend Dave has cooked a turkey, and he told
Yeah.
us about all the different steps, how long he was like baking it and
Yeah,
brining
yeah.
it and basting it. It's a big deal. I mean, you can
Mhm.
help her like learn how to cook it, but that should have been like said from the get-go.
Yeah, yeah.
Like like if she said, "Oh, I'll host this year's Thanksgiving, but if like someone could just help me how to make the turkey,
Right, right.
yeah, I'll do it." But she didn't say that. So now she's coming with the expectations that you, as the older sister, would
Right.
do it. No, I agree that you should just hold down your fort, stick to your guns, say that yeah, you're trying to avoid the stress that usually comes with Thanksgiving and just enjoy being a guest to this so called party. If it
Yeah.
falls short, that's her fault. It's not
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah. She's responsible. She volunteered and she's responsible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
What do you think? What do you think, Anna?
So I have many thoughts on this, and I actually have like many, I don't know, like I guess you could say personal examples, and I don't care if I
Oh,
share because I don't think the people
oh,
listen to this.
tell me.
But I just think like it should be like a shared responsibility. It's really hard for one person to do it. So like for example, like we were talking about like Dave made that turkey the one year. We all brought the sides. I remember that. Like so
Mm-hmm.
usually one of the things is like if a person is hosting Thanksgiving and it's at their house and it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a potluckish type thing,
Yeah,
the person that hosts it usually does the turkey. Would you agree? Something to that effect, right? Like they usually,
typically.
yeah, make like the main, like, you know, the turkey, the lechon,
But
the
I mean, if
roast
there's
beef.
one friend who's really good at making
Yeah,
turkeys and it's
yeah.
not at their house, I mean, if they
Mhm.
volunteer, I won't say no.
Yeah, or like, but it's like you said, like communicate that. Like
Yes.
this article sounds like it's the week of Thanksgiving, and like no one.
Surprise.
Yeah, yeah, it's so so crazy. So I think that I totally get her in a way where it's just like she sounds like she's the big sister, right? So it's like a
Mm-hmm.
little sister that you always take care of, and you kind of always like
Fix
give
and
into or what.
save.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this sounds like. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, what's the point? You're going to get stuck with it like every single year. Like, so take this opportunity. And then another story that I wanted to share. This is really, really
Yes.
funny. But like,
Okay.
so one Thanksgiving, I don't even know if it was Thanksgiving, whatever holiday it was. So
Uh-huh.
we were hosting, and then someone volunteered to make mashed potatoes. And then
Okay.
I think like a night or 2 nights before this event, the person texts me an Ab and says, do you have all the ingredients for the mashed potatoes? I'll just make it at your house. Mon, what's your
Ah!
opinion? Like when you offer to bring
No.
something, you don't just
No.
like, right? We're like, what? Yeah.
It's like I think you got the wrong idea. That's not how that works.
Yeah, yeah. Like imagine if like I asked so for those that don't know, Mon is super famous for making Chex Mix. That's like
Oh.
our thing that
Ah.
we always ask her for. Like the Chex Mix. It's the furikake Chex Mix.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking addicting. It's like,
It's
but
a
like
good
imagine,
salty and sweet snack, yeah.
yeah, like imagine if I asked you to make that, which is like I don't mind, of course, paying for it if I asked you to make it, but
Sure.
like, but if you're like, do you have all the cereal? I'll make it at your house the day of the party or like during the
Yeah.
party. That's not how that works.
No, you should ask. It's like, hey, I mean, I can bake it, but I can't afford it. I
Mhm.
mean, if you buy the ingredients, I don't know.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
kind of still sounds like a little off-putting, but you don't just expect someone to do those things. I
Right,
mean,
right.
um, communicate. What are you
Yeah, yeah,
doing?
yeah. That just reminds me actually. So my cousin, she is also a charcuterie whiz. Shout out
Okay,
Ange.
okay.
She's really good at it. And
Change.
her friends have started asking her to make them for parties, but they pay her.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
it's like, they'll be like, give her a couple $100 and she makes like a board for them, which is
Mm,
great. I
mm-hmm,
told her, like, I think that's super reasonable. Like, and those are really, really expensive. Like
mm-hmm.
potatoes are probably still not.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I hope the person doesn't listen, and I hope it was a really long time ago, so I hope the person doesn't remember. All right, let's
What
read what
did you
Abby had.
say though? What did you do?
I got pissed, and I told Ab to deal with it, and the person, like, I want to say the person. Oh, we didn't buy the ingredients, but I want to say the person still ended up making it at our house. Like brought
Uh,
the ingredients and then ended up making it. But it's just like,
but
dude,
that's still
come
okay.
on.
I mean, I don't know who they are. I don't know if I've met them, but I mean, even then, like, imposing on the host's home to make the stuff. Again, if it wasn't communicated and just like they've cleaned the house, now you're gonna dirty up their
Yeah, or
kitchen.
like when you have these kind of holidays, like counter space is valuable, your like
Oh, for
stove
sure.
is valuable, your oven, like my mom and I, every Thanksgiving, it's so we live really this, like we live really close, so it's just like we use both ovens. It's just like we'll make this here and then he'll drive it over, or like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. It's just like everything is like what is it, like prime real estate or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Those would be my words. It's like
Yeah.
you don't understand. You can't just take up space and then I mean mess everything up. That cannot happen.
Yes, yes. That's
Oh my
right? Okay.
gosh.
Thank you for agreeing
Oh
with
my
me. Okay. So
gosh.
let's
Yeah.
read what dear Abby has to say.
Yes.
So dear not feeling thankful, tell your manipulative sister you will come to her place early and show her how to properly cook the turkey, but you won't be bringing anything other than the side dish you are already planning to bring. That may be a way to teach her some independence. If she needs more outside help, she should contact the other guests and tell them what she wants them to bring. You're a generous and caring sister, but enough is enough. Your Thanksgiving will be happier if you share the responsibility with other relatives. Also, remember that there are easier ways to manage dinners than cooking all the food yourself. Many people
Mhm.
buy a bird or ham already prepared, and the
Yeah.
same is true for side dish ideas.
Mhm.
Which
Mhm.
I think I shared last year that that's what I do for a lot of like, who gives a shit, right?
If it tastes good, I don't care
Yeah.
where it comes from.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, if you handmade it yourself, then like, of course, more bonus perks to you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, you're coming as a guest. Be grateful. It is the whole thing about Thanksgiving. Be thankful.
Yes, yes. Be thankful. I mean, be thankful someone's inviting you. Like for the
Yeah.
first one. I mean, like we always say, like there's a lot of people out there that don't live close to their family and,
Hmm.
maybe aren't in good terms and all that kind of stuff. So yes, be very grateful that you're being invited and you're being fed and taken care of. So regardless
Unless
of
you
what
have
it
ate
is.
cheese and then now you don't get a Thanksgiving.
You only get
You
like,
get a
dude, is
sandwich.
the I was thinking like, does the kid even get like a turkey sandwich?
Nah, you don't get like that friends sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or an egg salad sandwich. Gross.
You get
Like,
toast,
all right.
PB and
Okay.
J.
Oh God, that's so sad, dude. I feel like if I don't know. Like if
Okay.
that happened to me, my mom would totally feed that kid. If that,
Oh, of
my
course.
mom would
Just
be
sneak it
like,
on the side.
yeah, yeah,
Shh, don't tell your mom.
yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, Mon. Okay, we're doing really good. I think we have time for one more article.
Okay,
So, do
okay.
you want to do under my asshole? Okay.
Sure. Okay. Kind of also going with the flow of
Mhm.
like topics. I'll follow up your article with an article that is titled, Am I the Asshole for Telling My Wife That She Can Stay Home This Thanksgiving?
Damn. All right, let's hear it.
Okay. The original poster writes, My wife is a grade A plus picky eater.
Oh, he was gonna say something else. Okay, sorry. Okay.
It's bothersome to a certain degree, but on holidays, basically the shit show begins. This is your wife, my guy. What are you
I
doing?
know, I know.
Okay. He writes, she'd refuse to eat certain meals, and mom would take it personally. So I guess his mom, her mother in law,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
of course.
they would take it personally, which results in a series of arguments between them. As a compromise this year, my wife offered to bring her own food to Thanksgiving dinner. I was stunned. I asked if she thought this through and looked at me confused. I told her about how weird it would be for her to bring her own food, especially when she wouldn't be sharing it with anybody else, and told her to think about how my mom will react. She'd get very offended and upset. My wife said it's not her problem and that she was just trying to make it work by bringing her own meal. I told her again that mom might not like nor even allow this. She blew up at me asking if I want her to either eat food she doesn't like or go hungry. I suggested she give my mom's food a chance, but she said it wasn't about my mom's cooking. She just doesn't like certain foods. We had an argument and I ended up telling her she could stay home this Thanksgiving and have whatever meal she likes.
Dang.
Oh, good.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. She got quiet Oh, and you know when a girl gets quiet,
You're done. You're done.
it's over. She got quiet and then lashed out on me, calling me insensitive and negative to say this to her. I repeatedly asked her to calm down. That's not something you do. Um, but she couldn't stop ranting about how I was basically willing to exclude her from a major event. She started cold shouldering me about it while at the same time guilting me, saying I'm treating her poorly. After she offered the perfect compromise, he put like in quotations, perfect compromise. Am I the asshole?
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
So my first question, and I guess like the first thing is like, so was she gonna bring her own food without telling the mother-in-law? That's what I'm gauging, right?
Let me
Because
see.
he had said like he said something to that effect, like
I guess so.
so I think that that's where the issue is for me personally. I feel like I don't feel like I mean, I guess mother-in-laws are very sensitive, right? We know that. So this could for sure she'll probably get offended, but I feel like if you tell her in advance that like you're going to bring your own food for whatever reason, I think it's probably better. I mean, God, it's bad all around.
Yeah.
This is really bad or but it's kind of just like it just made me think like we always go back to this like we have vegan relatives, right? Like they bring their own food and it's
Yeah.
okay, like we don't, at this point it's kind of just like that's fine, at least they'll
Yeah,
eat
because what are you gonna
because
do? Get offended? Like
yeah, yeah.
they can't eat
So
anything
they
else.
can't eat anything else. Yeah. Or like, we try and like, they don't like it or whatever. So they just bring their own food at this point, which is fine with us. It's like great. I think that that's kind of where this whole thing falls flat is like, you should at least tell the mother-in-law that that's what you're planning to do. I wouldn't just like spring it on her, especially if like, yeah. So what if it's like one of those plated things where the
Mm,
mother-in-law is like portioning food out? Then,
mhm.
that's kind of messed up because she's counting you in and then you're not going to do it or you're not going to
Right.
eat it. So in that sense, like I think it's wrong, but I just feel like I hate this. Mon, I hate like us saying this because we're wives and stuff like that. But it's just
Mm,
like I feel like for me, I know you have like a great relationship with your mother-in-law. A lot of people have very challenging relationships. So
sure.
it's kind of like just tread lightly for like the husband.
Yes.
You know what I
Of
mean? Like,
course. Of
yeah.
course. Because the husband is literally choosing the two most important
Yeah.
women in his life. It's his
Yes.
mom or his wife. And in this situation, it clearly looks like he's choosing his mom.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You don't tell a person to stay home.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't tell your wife to stay home.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's kind of weird. I do agree. It's kind of weird to bring your own food. I feel like
Mhm.
we've had this in like our last year's am I the
Yeah.
asshole discussion that like
Mhm.
why are they bringing their own food? Why don't they bring some to share? I don't know this food situation at your
Mhm.
party. But to yeah, exclude them completely
Yeah.
kind of rude.
Yeah.
Especially from a
Yikes.
family event. It's not a friend's event, it's a family
Mhm.
event. It's gonna look weird on you that your wife isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I guess if it could have been a little bit better if you told your mom that like, oh, my wife doesn't really eat that food. Like, could we like think of something else to make, or can we bring something else to
Mhm.
the party that she can eat? He adds like additional info that like it's not like she has allergies. It's literally just
Just a taste thing.
yeah. The update was and so my wife has decided to go spend Thanksgiving with her family,
Ooh.
who, by the way, live hours away. So this means
Wow.
unnecessary travel expenses. Why does that even matter right
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
now? Instead, and basically ditch me for a whole week. Oh, no, 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 sir.
Wow.
You don't get to turn this around and
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
she ditches you. You were going to ditch her.
I feel like he's screwed either way. I feel
Oh,
like
for sure.
he's completely screwed either way. It's either if your spouse doesn't go with you to your Thanksgiving, your family's going to be like, "What's up?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened? Unless they're
Some
sick
people
or
don't.
whatever.
Some
you
people don't
know, yeah,
ask because they'll just gossip on the sides.
yeah,
They're not
yeah,
gonna
like,
hear.
so it's okay, so that's one thing. That's one thing. And
Yeah.
then another thing, I feel like the thing that he brought up about her bringing her own food, but not to share with others, he probably finds that very embarrassing, which
Of
I
course.
understand. So I do have to say, like, when our relatives who are vegan
Hmm.
bring their own food, they have it, there's plenty for everybody. If anyone wants to try it, they're
Hmm.
more than welcome to do so. So it's just like he's screwed either way. It's just like either he brings her there and she embarrasses him, or she stays home and then they get gossiped about or whatever. And now she's gonna go to her family. So
He's, he says, but anyway, it's all good now. I guess, though I'm not too thrilled with her decision. I feel like she's doing it to spite me or get me to cave in.
God.
Dude, get off your high horse. You just dug yourself a
Yeah.
hole.
And I
Good
also feel
luck.
like this could like spiral into like, you know what I mean? I mean, like everyone knows like marriage is hard and this is like, I mean, I'm sure there are other things. This is just can't be it between them. So I would just like, yeah, like just be really like tread very carefully with
Yeah.
like, the wife, mother-in-law dynamic is just like very, very like sensitive, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Ooh,
at
dang.
the bottom line, what do you think? Asshole? Not asshole.
Um, like low key asshole, I would say. Like not like a major asshole, not like the guy that like
He's like
saw the
mid
Chinese
asshole.
food. Yeah, like low, not even mid. I'd say low asshole. Not like the guy that like showed up, saw the Chinese food, and then left and went home. Like not, but I just feel like it was like I feel like he has very valid points, but he just handled it very poorly. And you do not tell your wife to stay home. That's just like rookie
That's really
move, man.
immature.
How long have you guys been married? Yeah,
Probably not for
yeah,
long after this.
yeah. I
But
know. What do you think the same on? Like asshole, not asshole?
I think he's an asshole. I mean, as soon as he said that you could just stay home, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
are you talking
It's
about right
like
now?
kind of like making things worse, right? Like making
Yeah,
things
you
like
should have helped find a compromise. You just
yeah,
stood there and was like, my mom's making food. Sorry you can't eat it, but
yeah,
come anyway, and sorry you can't eat anything.
yeah.
Like,
Or
what?
stay home and just not
Or
eat
stay
or whatever.
home.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Like it's about
You were
family.
terrible. You're an
Yeah.
asshole. Not even low key. I would say you're at least mid asshole.
Ooh, mid. Well, we
And
got some really good articles. Good
yeah,
job, us.
yeah. I mean, it they're always more of the same, but they're always just as
Yeah,
entertaining.
for sure. For sure. There's definitely like, I mean, there's so many articles. And again, yeah, like you said, they're very similar, but it's just like the little twists that they have just make them so interesting. Like
Hmm.
it's so fun to read. It's just like the wedding ones.
Oh god, yeah.
So yeah.
uh
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed those episodes. We're now at the end. We hope that this episode helped you prepare for all the family time that you have to come during this holiday season. Now it's your turn to let us know what your average opinion is on these articles. What do you think? Like about the Chinese food guy, about the cheese kid,
cheese
cheese
kid.
kid? Send us an OA text message or leave us a comment or a DM on Instagram or Threads. We love hearing from you. So yeah,
Yeah, we'd love to hear your opinion because some people have some valid points when
yeah,
considering some things. I mean, I don't know how you would feel about telling your significant other to stay home for a Thanksgiving dinner, but we'd love to hear it. If you want to be
yes,
anonymous,
yeah.
just tell us and we will leave you.
We won't say. We'll respect that. We'll respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to follow, rate, and subscribe to our podcast. We're on Instagram, we're on Threads, we're on YouTube. Comment, send us message. Let us know if there's any videos or topics you'd like us to cover, or if you have like really good articles that you guys want us to like react to. I'd love to hear some of them.
Yeah.
Let us know, what you'd like to see more from me and Anna.
All right, everybody. Till next time.
Stay OA.
in the best way.
Bye.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving. Hang
This
in
coming out
there.
on Thanksgiving? No, there's one more episode.
There's
Ooh,
one more
you're gonna-
episode.
You're gonna like this next episode.
Yes,
Be
yeah.
sure. It's gonna come out
Yeah.
the week of Thanksgiving. So
Get your
it might be a
stomachs
little
ready.
short one. It's gonna be a different one. But I hope you guys like it.
Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.